Hello, and welcome to part 4 of the Final Fantasy Tactics Guide. As you can see, we are taking a look at our skills. We're going to ensure that potion is equipped here, because that is something we need to ensure that Ramza can also become a healer if needed. I'm going to head and learn Treasure Hunter. I learned Treasure Hunter, but I forgot to equip it. So one thing that you want to do is make sure you equip your skills whenever you do purchase them. To do that, you'll have to go to your character and then go to the job class, and then you'll see the equipment and abilities thing, and you'll see a icon indicator that matches the type, and then you'll be able to equip that skill accordingly. I'll be doing that later in the game, but I didn't do it right away because we have this story battle, which is more important to focus on the battle itself than, of course, getting buried treasure over the course of the map. But this is the battle that we're going to be taking on here in part 4. The first one for this story battle is called the Errands Sietch, and so this is a pretty difficult battle. But as you can see, we have our black mage, who is basically the best damage outputter we have, with Ramza on the left hand side of the map, and on the right hand side I've got a white mage. And this is the first battle where we're going to have we'll have well, not first, but we'll have Argrath in this battle as well, and our other guest star that remains with Delita. So you see, it begins with these characters kind of discussing their circumstances of how they've gotten to this point.
Enough that we can quit this life for good and all. The Order, they're here. We must silence this watch before they can raise the alarm.
So we need to defeat all enemies, and then as you can see, we have ability to flank them on the left side and on the right side. So on this side here, as you can see, we have 6 enemies that are trapped within this little cove here, and we want to keep them in there. We don't want them to be able to escape and basically start attacking our party members with ease. We want to keep them trapped in here if possible, because this will make them more susceptible to our black mage, who should be able to target these enemies from on the other side of the wall. So this is our key strategy for this level. As you can see on the other side here, we don't have control of it as much because we weren't able to get a turn quicker to block the exit. But we just have one enemy here that's escaped, so we should be able to take care of them and then flank from this other side here, while Argrath, our knight, and our white mage work on the other side and try and stay healthy accordingly. So as you can see, they cannot escape because of the Argrath blocking it, and we got kind of lucky there. We managed to get 2 evasions and a evasion of an archer shot, so Argrath remains in really good shape despite the fact that he had 2 attacks against him. And because those 2 are in front, that also keeps these other 2, the other ones from the back, from attacking as well. So here's where we can really start doing damage. So we're going to move our black mage up and then use thunder to start working on these enemies here. We can target them and get a nice area of attack range. Start picking off these enemies in here without taking damage ourselves. And of course our white mage can heal anyone that's in trouble. So here's the thunder attack. And as you can see, we got a good 72 damage between 2 characters without even having to take any damage to our black mage, which is great. So Argrath decided to abandon his post there and let some characters out, but now we're going to pick off the wounded between our knight here and Argrath.
It's up to me. I've earned this.
So as you can see, we've certainly taken some damage, so it's time to use our white mage to heal them up. You can, of course, if you don't have a white mage yet, be sure you have a chemist that can heal accordingly with potions.
What have I done for? You can count on me. It's over. Right.
So we've managed to take care of that enemy that was on the right, so now we can get Ramsey in here to start applying some damage. And then we'll continue to use thunder on any of the enemies that we can reach with our black mage.
I shall win glory. Down with you. What to do?
So as you can see, Argath managed to pick off one of the other enemies that came out with a stone throw.
I'm not done yet.
Ramsey got killed here, but it's not a huge deal. We can resurrect him, and we're getting closer to picking off some of these enemies in here. So with that thunder attack, we took down another enemy. So I will, of course, retreat with my Weight Mage and heal her, because we'll need her to try and be alive as much as possible to continue to heal the others.
Curse you. No time to waste.
So one thing to keep in mind is the spells can have a slight delay, of course, even for healing. So it's important that if you're in a real bind, that you use something quicker, like potions, if you have that ability. If you're worried that that character is going to be killed within another turn, or that turn.
This cannot be. I must fight on.
So we're going to continue targeting the enemies inside that remain with our Black Mage. And on the outside, continually deal with those that got to the outskirts.
Ready.
So we finally took down another enemy within the town walls,
It is well no others have found us while we tarried here.
or the little cove, or whatever it is. And there we go. We managed to get through that one. Get a high potion, some money, and an item there. Not surprisingly, again, Black Mage is our gold star performer here, because he kept inflicting damage over and over again with all those enemies in there. So it was a little bit of a rough battle. We had some hits taken, so you can feel free to level up if you need to, or get some more skill points with your jobs if you're struggling in that one. But that's how I managed to get through that one.
You have spoken your fill. Then we are done. Weegraf! The Marquis! No further! You vermin! Stay yourself, Argath. The Marquis is unharmed. You are free to return him to Egros. Why release him? The Marquis's abduction was ill done. Such craven methods serve not our ends. Let me walk free, and I will release the Marquis to your care. A fair bargain. You mock us. You are in no position to bargain. Enough, Argath. He speaks the truth. Put your backs to that wall. Give me no cause to doubt your sincerity. Oh.
Let him go, Argath.
Why do you stay me?
The Corpse Brigade is finished, in any case. There is naught to be gained by a quarrel here.
The Marquis is well. He is weak, but he would seem unharmed.
We must see him back to Egros.
So we have a good story cut sequence there. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on checking our party a little bit here, and then we're going to head back to the outfitter as required by the story.
What madness possessed you that you would abandon your posts to traipse about the desert? Silence is not the answer I seek. Speak, and be quick with it.
'Twas I forced Ramza to go.
Was that the way of it, Ramza? Delita led your better judgment astray.
No. I went of my own choosing. The fault lies not with him.
'Tis Ramza's noble disposition that guides his tongue, my lord. It is not as he...
You needn't be false on my behalf, Delita. It was I who chose to disregard orders.
Might I pose a question, Ramza? What purpose do laws serve when even those who would enforce them choose not to pay them heed? Adherence to the rule of law is a knight's solemn duty. It falls upon us as bailiffs to bear the burden of example. Is it your intent to live up to your name, or to drag it with you through the mire?
Forgive me, Lord Brother.
I believe the point is made, is it not, Diastag? You must not allow the how of it to steal your eyes away from the what. Their rescue of the Marquis was no small feat. It is the way of young men to be impetuous in their haste to do great things. Were we not like them once?
To coddle them is to do them disservice, Your Grace. They must needs learn integrity.
So, you are Count Diastag's younger brother. Rise, son of Gallione. Indeed, you are the very image of Barbaneth. His fire burns in your eyes, I can see it. Such strength and vitality would be wasted atop castle walls.
Our campaign against the Corpse Brigade draws near its end. I will permit you to join in the final stage. Coordinated strikes are to be made on a number of their dens ere long. You will lead one of those assaults.
Very well, Lord Brother.
My apologies, Your Grace.
It was not of your doing, Diastag. In truth, it serves only to show the caliber of man we were dealing with in Gustav. A change in plans was inevitable, once the fool went and staged the kidnapping within our very borders. And let us not forget, they did save the Marquis's life. You will now, in the end, your half-brother's deeds have placed us in quite the favorable position.
The King's life hangs by a thread. We must move quickly now.
Indeed, my dear friend. I trust you will not fail me.
So after that story sequence, we have opened up a new path for us to go to with this story. So we can check on a few things here before we head over to that area. If you didn't read those rumors before, you can. But as you can see, when you have that blue icon available at the outfitter, that means that there are new items available to buy. And we'll want to do that because we have a battle coming up here. So the blind knife is an ability, is a weapon that when you attack certain characters, you have the chance of turning them blind. So that's kind of a nice little added side effect to the weapon damage itself. So it's worth equipping for some characters. As you can see, we have a iron helm upgrade to our knight here, so we can swap out the bronze helm. So that's a nice upgrade. And same for the bronze armor that can replace the cuirass that we purchased before. And we also have a new accessory called a shoulder cape. So you can feel free to buy as many of these as you'd like to upgrade the accessory slot, or simply have an accessory slot for your characters, since as you can see it adds 10% to one of the stats and slightly lowers one of the other ones. So feel free to buy the shoulder cape for upgrading some of your characters, and then you can sell some old battle boots if you're running low on money like I am, which is what I'm going to do here. They sell for a pretty good price. And so now we've kind of upgraded our things, and we have an enemy battle on the way that I'll take part in just to try and level up a little bit before we do the next story battle. So we can set up a 5 formation scheme here because we don't have a story related to it. So I will just put down our usual suspects here just to try and continue to get job points and job and levels here.
Twould be an honor. left to me.
Forward.
So now that we've set our party and our skills, since we are back at the plains here, we have pretty familiar set of enemies. We have the wolves here, or nothing new, and we have another chocobo. So 3 wolves and a chocobo. So we should be able to take them on pretty well since we've gained levels. In addition to that, we also have them outnumbered. So between those elements, we should be good. So with this archer here, I'm going to try and keep trying to pick off some of these enemies before they get to us. The terrain here isn't the best for archers with all these rocks in the way, but we should be able to get some damage with our archer. And there you can see we managed to finally get in range to shoot the chocobo, which is great because they tend to do counter damage. So if we can work on picking them off before we even gets to us, or have them in lower health, that would be great. But unfortunately it decides to do Choco Cure to patch itself back up. That's one of the most annoying abilities about chocobos, is their ability to heal, and it doesn't even require any MP from them, so they can do it pretty much as any time they feel is necessary. So you can get kind of a sense here on how much stronger we are than we previously were, because that wolf took significant damage before it took so much harder. It was much harder to kill these wolves. Knights are really great characters for damage. So we're going to patch up our characters here. And then we're going to see if we're going to finish off that wolf. And then we're going to continue engaging the rest of the enemies here. So that's one of the advantages of the archer, is they're able to get that long range shot, and we were able to finish off that wolf before it got another turn to either get another attack in or try and escape. So, as you can see here, we managed to find a broadsword in the ground. This is not a huge revelation here, but if you didn't get the buried trophy before, you'll get that now here. Or you can potentially get it here if you landed on that square as well. We got a level here from one of our chemists, which is always good. And with our archer here, we're going to see if we can get some more damage to this wolf here. And we're going to use the aim ability. The aim ability will add a little bit more juice to the attack. And there you go. By using that for the 5th time, whenever you do that yourself for the 5th time, you get guaranteed hit, which is one of the trophies that we need for the platinum. So we got another trophy out of the way for guaranteed hit, and it's for using an archer and using an aim ability 5 times. So if you don't have it now, just keep a note of it. Make sure you have an archer and make sure you use that aim ability, and you'll eventually get it. The one thing of note in this game is you do get credit for your skills even when you retry battles. So that kind of makes it even easier to get some of these trophies that have counters associated with them, which is many of them. A lot of the trophies in this game are related to doing a certain attack 5 times. Just like we got the emergency heal trophy for healing 5 times. This aim a trophy is the same way, and as anticipated for the Black Mage was also for 5 times. So there's going to be a handful of those trophies that we'll keep having to get, and of course we'll get all of them through the course of this walkthrough. We're going to continue to whittle down these last 2 enemies here, the Chocobo and the Wolf. It's better to target the Chocobo because if you target the Wolf, the Chocobo may just continue to heal the Wolf and itself. So I'm continuing to aim away at this Chocobo. Use the aim attack again. Even though I have the trophy, it's still a good attack to be using one way or the other. And now the knight should be able to go and finish it off. So that just leaves the wolf. So it managed to do Venom Fang on our chemist here, which is a item that does damage and inflicts poison. But fortunately, we should be able to not really worry too much about dying against this battle. But as you can see, we took 6 damage just from that poison attack. So I'm going to move our chemist out here so we can move our knight and Ramza in here for countering and cornering this last wolf here. So as you can see, a treasure chest did open up for one of the enemies that we killed earlier. And this occurs when you kill them, and after the turn count, they expire and turn into treasure, which makes them gone forever. So far, the treasures that we've gotten over the course of the game haven't been great. They've just been clothing or just basic healing items that we could easily purchase, and that remains to be the case with this one. The crystals are far more useful because they can heal your MP and HP, and they can also give you a chance at learning a skill. But we managed to complete that story battle. We got some more gold, and our archer is the hero of that battle, as he should be, because we got that guaranteed hit trophy, and he did a great job applying damage over the course of that whole battle. So we're going to do a final check of our equipment before we engage on the next story element that is required of us, as we can see from the yellow icon. We can also go to the other outfitter and purchase any other weapons or upgrades or restock your items if you're running low. So we're going to continue just looking through our characters, seeing if there's any abilities that we can take use of before we start this next battle. As usual, if you have any chemists, make sure that they're set up to have Potion and Phoenix down by now. We're going to head to this magic shop here, this outfitter, and purchase some rods for our 2 black mages that we'll be using in this next battle. So that those rods are nice because if you attack directly, you have a chance of inflicting whatever element that rod type is. But now we are going to head into the next battle, which is the Brigands Den. So in this one, I will use 2 black mages, and I will use a chemist, and I have, of course, Ramza. So the black mages are going to be key to just kind of working on the amount of enemies that are kind of centered around a focal point here. And this one we need to kill a boss, basically, and that's more important than killing everybody. So as you can see over the course of this battle, we need to defeat this lady here, Miliunia. And we kind of want to keep it concentrated to this little alley here, if we can, to try and keep the enemies from being too spread apart, because we brought in 2 black mages. We really want to focus the damage in this closely knit area here. So I'm going to start off doing with Ramza here, and I will do this Tailwind ability, which gives them slightly more movement. It's not particularly needed for the fact that we need to cover a long distance, but just since I don't think I will cover any ground with that first turn anyway. But here's where the mages come to shine. We're going to move them up and see if we can start inflicting magic damage on these enemies up ahead. So we'll start by using fire here, and then our second one's going to move up and also start blasting away. So as you can see here, they have mages as well. We got inflicted by Blizzard for a white mage. Argath was about to take it and be killed there, but we got a lucky evasion. But if he's killed, it's not a huge deal, because we don't care about guest member parties as much, because we don't need them gathering a bunch of experience. So Ramza is going to use Chant to heal up our black mage. I like this skill because it's like a good way to preserve some items and also heal at the same time. Because we really want our chemist to be doing the healing if possible. So Argath wisely heals himself there, which is good. So Miliuda still has a lot of health, but we're still going to keep advancing our black mages and start seeing if we can pick off some of these additional enemies. So we're going to use one black mage to see if we can get rid of this pesky white mage that's been attacking us. And we'll use the other one to keep applying pressure now on the rest of these tiles here. So we killed that pesky white mage in the process, which is great because we don't need her healing and doing offensive spells in the process. So we're getting closer to whittling down some of these side enemies so we can focus on the boss here. We want to kill this healer here because we don't want her to keep healing the boss, especially if she has Cura. So luckily, because we damaged her pretty good, she's going to retreat and focus on healing herself, which is better than having her heal the boss as we start chipping away at her now. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can resurrect Argath here. And hopefully he will use a potion on himself to keep him in the battle. And we finally got our first hit on the boss. The white mage is over there curing herself, but we can send someone down there to take care of her soon. She is running out of her support team here as we continue to pick them off. So we're in really good shape here. I'm going to send Ramza over here to start picking away at this mage here. So Melida used Aeroblast to kill off our chemist, unfortunately. The healer continues to use Cura, but she doesn't have too much MP left. And we'll continue targeting Luda here. Thankfully, Argoth came in and finished off that white mage before she could heal. So now we really can all just focus on the boss here, who just took 2 fire damages. Oh, she did survive, never mind. She was just in critical condition, but either way. Lita only has 10 health left. And there you can see she's defeated. So that is the story battle for Brigands Den. It is one of the difficult ones, but that's why I decided to bring in the 2 black mages just to keep imposing damage. I thought it was a pretty good strategy and it worked well. As you can see, she is now going to retreat, and so are we. That is going to be the end of part 4. We got the guaranteed hit trophy, and then I will see you in the next video.
To become one in truth. She's a foe and a traitor, an enemy of House Beowulf. The world has no place for such wretches. Her claim to life is forfeit. Spare her now, and you place your seal on the warrants for our own deaths. It's her or us, Ramza. Strike her down!
Try as I might, Ramza, I cannot think this woman our enemy.
Have you lost your wits?
She is no more chattel than you or I.
You would turn against our cause, Delita. I should have expected as much.
You deny me even the mercy of an honourable death. Pox on you and your pity. So long as you bear the name Beowulf, you will ever remain an enemy to me.
Delita? What have we done?
A pox on your pity indeed.
No! I won't go! Release me!
Be quick
quick about it.
Let go of me! Help! Zobog!
Oh, yeah!
Time to cut my losses.
Alma, are you unhurt?
Yes, but Tetra...
Yes. I know. Lord Brother!
Worry not. I am fine. Alma, are you all right?
They did not harm me, but you're bleeding.
In no fevered dream would I have thought the brigade so bold to strike us here. They must have come for me.
5 among our guard are slain, and Tetra taken. Like as not to ease their escape.
Find them. Search every den and dovecot if you must.
Please, brother, you mustn't speak.
Accursed rebels.
Dystog!
Someone! Anyone!